My name is Jenny, and I am a 25-year-old woman who has been married to my husband, David, for the past 4 years. We have been together since we were both 16, and we met during high school marching band. I am an elementary school teacher, and I teach first grade at Washington Elementary School. I really enjoy teaching them because we're just a bunch of fun. Every day is a new excitement. I've been teaching at Washington for the past 3 years. My husband is a police officer. He has been a city cop for the past 3 years. We both love kids and wanted a family, but we were waiting on our first child until we had a steady job. I am due to deliver any time. We'll be naming her Olivia. Today my husband is at work, and I am just so tired of being at home, I decided to go to a movie. I know it's a little bit risky to go to a movie when I'm due any time, but I couldn't stay at home any longer. After all, I had been feeling fine, so I had to go ahead and go.
This is a hard world you've been born into. I don't care how special your parents said you are, how many clubs you're in high school, or anything like that. You have to fight tooth and nail for everything in this life. Sometimes that still doesn't cut it. Sometimes you need to put your foot down and make whatever sacrifices necessary to get what you need. I come from a successful family, meaning there was always zero tolerance for time wasting, daydreaming, or games. My parents made sure that whatever my brothers and I received for birthdays or Christmas was purely educational. That meant no toys, video games, or any nonsense like that. Life isn't about games. I've always understood this principle. I understood it at 18 when I graduated class president on the honor roll. I understood it at 21 when I received my Juris Doctor at Yale, having been on the dean's list for every year of that too. I've always known what I have to do, and I never let anyone get in the way of it. Despite all my life, people have told me to take it easy or stop and smell the flowers. I've never failed to make the responsible and mature decisions. Those same people told me that I only needed to study 7 hours a night for college and should go out drinking with them for the other ones. But I didn't. Sleep is for either winners or permanent dreamers. I had no intention of becoming the latter like they did. Even the day I had my diploma in hand, I knew there was no time to stop. In 1 month, I was already an intern at a local law firm. Within a year, I was already a permanent hire-on at that same law firm. Now I'm a high associate there. Taking it easy and having fun had nothing to do with any of that. Life is about success and nothing more. Too many people don't get this. My ex-wife was one of them. When I first got that ring for her, she was all smiles and sunshine. A few months later, the whining began. Why are you always at work? You didn't need to stay 5 hours over last night. Well, I did. This house, those cars, and all that other shiny stuff that she liked doesn't pay for itself. I could have come home earlier, but that wouldn't have won the case. If the case isn't won, my career doesn't advance. And a career that doesn't advance is like a wife that doesn't understand hard work. It's best to move on. But I've done my job well, and winners get to relax. So maybe I'll go see a movie after I leave the office tonight.
My name is Alfred Higgins. I was born on the 12th of July of 1942. My mother is British, and my father was an American GI in World War II. I grew up in London, England, with my mother, but unfortunately my father was never around, as he was killed in the war when I was still quite a young. I never really got to know him, and as a result of that, I spent a lot of my teenage years being sour about that fact. My mother tried her best to raise me well, and while there were some hard times, she did the best she could. When I turned 20, I met my beautiful wife Carla, and we got married soon after in the fall of 1965. I earned my medical degree back in 1966 at the London School of Medicine. I practiced the medical arts profession for over 46 years before retiring a few years back. In my years, I've practiced at several different hospitals around London, and at the time, I had lived in England for almost all of my life. So now that I'm retired, I wanted to go somewhere else, so I made arrangements to move to the States. Now, I live in sunny Florida, and the weather here is so wonderful almost all the time. We only get a bit of rain each year. It is such a stark contrast to the often dull, gray, and rainy skies of London. Now in my retirement, I enjoy taking care of my pets and working on my projects, which I do to try to keep busy. I have a dog named Edmund and an aqua garden complete with live fish and plants. I use it to grow a sizable amount of food each year, and it's all delicious. But I digress. In my 46 years as a medical doctor, I've treated many ailments, anything from a common fever all the way to flesh-eating bacterial infestations. That last one is a nasty bit. Whatever you do, do not eat contaminated meat. Well, anyway, on to a happier note. I'm also responsible for giving birth to over 1,000 children, and by that, I mean I have delivered over 1,000 babies, not that I have fathered over 1,000 children, because yikes, that would be a whole lot of kids. I'm retired, but they're still making me deliver babies, as you'll see today.
Hello, I'm Bob, full-time student, part-time bum. It's got a running habit. Helps keep me in shape, helps pass the time. A little bit of background. I retired from the Air Force back in December of 2004 after serving nearly 23 years. 10 of it active, 13 of it in reserves. Part of that time I was also working at Wabash National. Worked there for a total of 16 years. I guess you could say I did it all. I worked in a variety of jobs from shop floor labor to middle level management. I was in the supply chain, I was in the finance, accounting side of the world. I was in information technology, and my last career while I was there was in continuous improvement, which was affectionately known as continuous interference. People hated it when we came out on the floor and tried to tell them how to do their jobs. I did that, like I said, for 16 years and decided it was time to try something different, so I applied for a job at Purdue University and eventually landed a job as a system administrator working in the information technology department. Did this job for about 6 months and transitioned into a management level position supporting the SAP system that they had implemented. After working there for about 4.5 years, decided it was time to try something different and decided to quit working at Purdue in October of 2012. And my wife Stacy and I, we moved to Las Cruces, New Mexico, where I attended New Mexico State University. I guess this gave me the other opportunity to see the other side of higher education. Attended New Mexico State University until an illness in the family brought us back here to Lafayette. And since come back to Lafayette, I had a lot of time to think about not only where have I been, but really honestly, more importantly, where I want to go in the future. Just a little bit about where I've been besides what I've already talked about. Been to 19 different countries that I claim. There's a few that I don't, thanks to my time in the 1st Special Operations Command. During that time, I've been with units that have brought military dictators to justice, Noriega being one of them, and I've also had the opportunity to meet some presidents along the way. I flew a C-130 transport over Niagara Falls at 11,000 feet. Not sure it was legal, but I can tell you it was fun. Then I had an auto accident somewhere along the way that cost me 6 months of intensive physical therapy and occupational therapy. But it was this accident and therapy that actually led me to a new chapter in my life. Running, which I mentioned earlier. Also gave me the opportunity to meet my wife Stacy. Since the auto accident, I've been running for 14 years now. I've run, I think, untold number of half marathons, 11 or 12 I think it is, and a few full marathons, and countless 5K and 10K races, miles, I can't even begin to count. Where am I going and what I plan to do? Well, besides school and being a part-time bum, I like to hang out with my wife Stacy. We like to try new things. We like to hang out with our friends and just enjoy life in general. Currently, we're training for the Indy Mini Marathon. It takes place in May. It will be my 12th, I guess it is, and it's my wife's 2nd run. That's the near term. The long term plans are to get back to the Southwest, New Mexico State University, of course, and continue pursuing my bachelor's degree with an anticipated graduation date of December of 2016. After I graduate, the plan is to get a job in the federal government, hopefully related to one of the military branches, kind of get back to my roots. And after that, we'll see. But right now, I'm going to go for a run.
Hey, buddy, watch where the heck you're running there.
Sorry, pal. I said excuse me.
Well, try using that excuse in court. See where that gets you.
Oh, really now? Just what do you know about court?
I know 3 years at Yale and 10 years of practice have taught me.
Oh, really now? Just which end of the law were you on?
On the winning side, thank you very much. At least that's what the jury agreed in 98% of my cases.
So you're an attorney, huh? And just what does that have to do with any of this?
Simple. Defacement of property. These are $1,200 shoes you just stepped up on.
What kind of nutcase is spending $1,200 on a pair of shoes? That's just stupid.
The kind of nutcase that wants to win, and the next state prosecutor, thank you very much.
Well, whoop-de-doo. I buy my shoes to win too, and I only paid $100 for them.
For crying out loud, why don't you just shut up already?
Why don't you mind your own business?
Because you're being loud, it is my business.
Well, I'm sorry, Princess. Isn't it your bedtime anyway?
She has a point. Why don't you two quiet down?
We don't need your input, thank you very much.
Whatever. I'm trying to watch the movie. All this hell you two are raising, setting the baby. She keeps kicking.
Why don't you just go watch the movie and stay out of this? We weren't talking to you anyway.
Yeah, how about you just keep standing there and leave this discussion to us?
She said you're causing her pain. Now calm down, gentlemen, if I can even call you that.
Don't you agree with me? You're the one who started this.
Now, that's a flat lie. You're the one that came stampeding through and ruined my shoe.
I barely even scuffed it. Why in the heck are you getting so upset over this?
It's the principle of the thing. A man's shoes are like his dreams. You can't just run around stepping on them.
That's the most insane thing I've heard all month.
Probably the smartest thing you've heard all month.
Now look here, buddy. You can have your fancy little law degree, but that doesn't mean you have to talk to me like that. I'm a vet.
Well, that's where you're wrong. It does. The degree also taught me how to note that you damaged my shoe first.
Enough! Please, all the stress is making me sick. You should let it go already?
Are we done yet?
I'm not the one dragging you into this. Don't forget, he started it.
Excuse me, Mr. Reckless Pedestrian. I was just standing in line, minding my own business, when you run up and...
Reckless pedestrian. That sounds like a criminal charge.
Just stop! Your seriously are making me sick. I'm 9 months pregnant because you didn't notice.
Oh, I noticed. I just don't care. The kid can't legally give testimony until 6 anyway.
Seriously, what's your problem?
My problem is that I'm surrounded by idiots everywhere I go, my whole life. I can't get away from them.
Well, someone certainly thinks a lot of themselves.
Gee, I can't imagine why a nice guy like you would think I have that problem.
Well, I wouldn't if I didn't keep running into...
You know, I have first graders who have more in me to read than two of you together.
Ha, good for you. Why don't you go back to them and get out of this conversation?
Really, it's 10 o'clock at night. How on earth can I go back to school when it's closed?
You're a bright young woman. I'm sure you could figure something out.
Lucky my husband's not here.
I'm sure we are, if he's as charming as you are.
You know, you're the type that wouldn't have lasted an hour in the Air Force. They'll fix your little shoe problem you got, that's for sure. I'd like to see your law degree get you through basic.
Well, we're not in the Air Force, are we? We're standing outside of a movie theater. And now my good shoe is ruined because of you.
Cry me a river. These shenanigans are cutting into my training time, so if you don't mind, Mr. High and Mighty Attorney, I have a marathon to practice for.
You know, fleeing the scene of an accident is an A misdemeanor in this state. That means you can get up to 1 year in jail for it.
I ain't a lawyer, but I'm certain accidentally stepping on someone's shoe doesn't fall under that law. It's a shoe, not a Ferrari.
A $1,200 shoe, thank you very much.
That doesn't change the fact that it's a shoe.
That's the whole point. It's not just about the shoe. It's a state of mind. It's about being able to put your best foot forward every day. And I can't do that if there's a scuff mark on them.
Seriously, man, you need some help. Stress relief or something. Maybe you should take jogging or marathon training up.
I don't need help. I just need you to watch where you're going.
You both need help.
Then what do you want me to do? Go back in time or something? I said I'm sorry.
Well, sorry doesn't cut it. You can't make it in this world if you don't watch where you're going.
Ugh, stop! Just stop!
What's your problem now?
I told you, I'm 9 months pregnant. I think my water just broke.
Oh my God, she's going into labor.
Look what you've done now. You've caused her to go into labor.
Don't touch her. You could be liable if anything happens.
Shut up. I'm a doctor and I'll help this woman.
Will you just stop with that legal advice and give me a hand here? The baby will be here any second.
Look, pal, I didn't get where I am today by just rushing into situations.
We need clean towels. Someone go get clean towels.
I bet you definitely did this just standing around and watching either.
Fine. What do you need me to do?
You're going to support the baby as she comes out.
Why couldn't you just shut up? I told you now. Look what you've done.
Shh, calm down. You just need to breathe and push.
Stop complaining. You need to keep your breathing steady.
It's crowning.
Ew, is that the head?
Yes, Mr. Genius Attorney, it is.
I was just asking. My degree was in law, not medicine. You have to talk to my brother about any of that stuff.
You went to law school. We get it. Now just shut up and help me.
Both of you, stop arguing. We still got a job to do. I still need those towels. Marathon man, go get me those towels.
It's close. I can feel it.
Just breathe, we're here for you.
Seriously, go now, towels.
That's not comforting.
There it is. It's almost out.
This is all I'm able to get at the concession stand. All right, now push.
Congratulations.
It's a girl.
It's a girl.
Is she healthy? Is she fine?
Tell us, Doc.
Congratulations, you did fine.
Oh,
Healthy
good.
baby girl.
Thank you. You never have a selfish jerk once. You did two really do good.
You gents did good. You're clearly deserving of that title, at least on a good day.
Ah, thanks, I guess. Cute kid, by the way.
Thanks.
Say, you and your husband wouldn't by chance be in need of some legal services, would you? I can help you get the birth certificate.
Oh, so now you want to be friendly.
Of course I do. This is a winning opportunity.